So there we have it then. The deal we all knew was going to happen has taken place. Porsche have acquired a 50% stake in Red Bull Racing. This does not include a 50% stake in the AlphaTauri team. Red Bull will retain 100% ownership of AlphaTauri, but it is fully expected, of course, that the powertrain developed by Porsche and Red Bull will continue to power the AlphaTauri team. This is, of course, news we've been expecting for a while. It's been there. Porsche sitting in the wings, waiting for the regulation changes for the engine in 2026 to be confirmed. They have now come out officially and confirmed the deal. It will commence on a 10-year contract from 2023, and I think this confirms Red Bull's place at the top of the constructors standings, probably for a few years to come, at least challenging. You suspect they're only going to grow from here. Obviously operating under the name Red Bull, there's always been a slight, I think, expectation and bias that the classic manufacturers will overtake them eventually. At least that's sort of how I felt, that, you know, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, the giants of the sport would eventually overcome, you know, the small outfit of Red Bull. Essentially, I know that, of course, isn't reality, but it's always been a bit strange having an energy drinks company at the head of F1, leading the way, or at least challenging at the very top of the sport. It feels like Leicester winning the Premier League. It's weird, and it came out of nowhere. But obviously they did a brilliant job. Christian Horner's done a fantastic job building that team and developing them into what they are today. But to have them go from being Red Bull Racing to Porsche Red Bull Racing, I think, just solidifies their position at the top of the sport and at the top of the table when it comes to negotiations. I think obviously Ferrari, I think, will remain and will always be the most powerful name in the sport, but Porsche is a huge name to bring in. It's great for F1. I think it's going to bring fresh eyes. I think for Red Bull, it gives them that solidity they need moving forward. I think it gives, obviously, it secures them financially, I would imagine, whatever financial arrangement they have in place for this 50% acquisition on a 10-year deal. It can only mean good things for Red Bull. Obviously, the team doesn't change. They've got a fantastic team of engineers, designers behind Adrian Newey and Christian Horner at Red Bull Racing. And obviously, Porsche are going to maybe want to bring in their own people, but I certainly don't think they'd be looking to get rid of any of the successful team that Red Bull have, especially at the moment, leading the championship by such a margin. Obviously, coming in next year, I think they're coming into a really successful team, it's just scary how successful they could go on to be. We could be looking at the next sort of Mercedes era of dominance, potentially. Things never usually work out exactly how you think they will. I think if you think back to when Mercedes came back into the sport, there was a lot of talk about how, they weren't great in that first year, when Schumacher and Rosberg were working on the car, that it wasn't great, but everybody knew they were planning for that engine change, for the hybrid era. And as soon as it hit, that's it. Mercedes dominated. They had planned, and they did exactly what everyone thought they were going to do. So it doesn't always work out like that, and it may not work out as well as you might think with Red Bull Porsche. But this, as I say, I can't see a downside to this for Red Bull. I think it solidifies their position financially. It solidifies their position from a performance perspective, and it gives them the credibility of a huge brand in the world of not only cars but motorsport in their corner. And I think that's massive for Red Bull. So make sure to get in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this acquisition. Do you think this is going to solidify Red Bull's position at the top? Do you think that it doesn't change anything? It's just the same old Red Bull team, and it's just a bit of branding? How much influence and change do you think Porsche and their finances are going to bring to the Red Bull outfit? Do you think that their engineers are going to be able to take the Red Bull powertrain to the next level? Are Red Bull going to become one of the biggest providers of engines to the grid? So could it go past, of course, AlphaTauri? It's obviously just the two teams at the moment. Do we think other outfits might come in and look to become a customer of Porsche Red Bull Racing. Let me know in the comments below how you think this is going to play out, what you think of the deal. Do you think it's a good deal for Red Bull? Do you think it's a good deal for Porsche if they made the right decision going all in on the Red Bull team? What do you think of the fact that Red Bull are going to retain 100% ownership of the AlphaTauri team? What do you think that will have any impact on the long-term deal or prospects of the AlphaTauri team? Maybe could it be seen as less of a sister team, potentially allowed to sort of do more of their own thing? Maybe Red Bull will push some of their finances into lifting up AlphaTauri, while Porsche invest their finances in the success of the main Red Bull outfit as we've come to know it over the last few years. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I certainly think it's going to be an exciting period for Formula One. I'm really looking forward to seeing that Porsche badge on the front of the Red Bull cars and knowing it's a full element and full part of that team, and it isn't just a branding, you know, we're just going to put our brand on, which is what's expected from an Audi acquisition. Though Audi, to be fair, I read earlier today they're looking at a 75% acquisition of maybe Sauber, obviously taking over from Alfa Romeo at the moment, so that could be really interesting. And I think, sorry, VW were looking at a branding situation where they didn't actually come into the sport with a VW team that had a full acquisition. They'd come in more of a head sponsor that would be a car branded as VW. But yeah, good to see Porsche on the grid, and I would be excited as well to see an Audi Sauber team up. I think they could launch themselves up the grid as well if Audi do take on a 75% ownership of the Sauber team. That would be really interesting to see. I mean, we all know they've got mass amount of support. Obviously, their engineering prowess is, you know, second to none. You'd have to think they'd be up there with Mercedes in terms of the power within the sport that they've got back at their factories and what they could do. Obviously, they'd need to take time to learn the engine, if they were going to produce their own engines, or would they continue to be a customer of Ferrari, which is obviously where Alfa Romeo get their engines at the moment. But if Audi came in and obviously part of the VW group, and they wanted to produce their own powertrains, maybe they'd become a customer of Red Bull. Obviously, you know, it's all part of the same big family behind the scenes if you look at the VW group. So maybe Porsche come in, they acquire Red Bull, and then Audi come in to acquire Sauber, and then they take on the Red Bull powertrain. Maybe long term that might be what we see over the next few years develop, especially once the new engine regulations come in 2026. So that's one to look out for. But I say, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that these acquisitions are good for the sport? Do you think it's good for Red Bull? Do you think that actually it could be detrimental? They might go through a phase of you know, having to collaborate and work together, bring their teams together, and that could maybe disrupt Red Bull and their winning outfit as it is at the moment, and it could give a chance to the other teams to sort of maybe get a leg up on them while they get used to that acquisition and merger. Going to be really interesting, but certainly something I'm excited for. Get in the comments, let me know what you think. Join the chat. If you are new around here, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Really interested to hear what you guys think. And yeah, we'll see how this plays out over the next couple of seasons. But hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit a like, and as I said, make sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified of all future uploads. Thank you so much for watching, guys.